that was my first choice, came the feminine voice from the speaker of the phone set on the table. Only with the speaker's cold, the words came out more like, "Doe, dat was by first choice." "It's very sweet." "Ugh, I wish I was there." Jacques linked his hands in front of his waist. "Once again, Miss Kane, we would be happy to have the tasting at your home." "She can't really taste anything right now," Eve explained. "It's the saddest," Livy sniffed. "And the groom?" Jacques asked delicately. Gabe suppressed an eye roll. The guy was digging for gossip, which was pretty standard amongst town people. Kane and Chandler drama was a favorite topic. "My brother is busy today." Eve cast the waiter an inquiring look. "What's the next flavor, Jacques?" Jacques placed a dish with a slice of light yellow cake in front of each of them. The small, exclusive restaurant was closed to the public for this tasting. A tasting Gabe was sure had been granted due to the Chandler name. "A delicate lemon thyme, Miss Chandler. You'll find alternating layers of lemon curd and a rich vanilla buttercream, garnished with sprigs of thyme and candied lemons." That sounded disgusting to Gabe's decidedly simple tastes. "Aren't most wedding cakes like chocolate and vanilla?" Livy made a derisive, nasally snort. "Nothing about this wedding is traditional. Why start with cake?" True. Most people in Rockville were accustomed to the unexpected when it came from the Kanes and Chandlers. Once upon a time, the Chandlers and Kanes had been best friends and business partners, each family owning half of a grocery store company, the C&O. Then, 10 years ago, a series of tragedies had befallen the two families, starting with Robert Kane and Maria Chandler dying in a tragic car accident on a late winter night. A minute later, and widower Brendan Chandler, Nicholas and Eve's father, had swindled Livy's grieving mother, Tanny, out of her half of the company. 2 minutes later, and Livy's twin brother, Jackson, was under suspicion of burning down the flagship C&O store in revenge. At some point during that mess, Nicholas and Livy had broken up, their childhood love destroyed. But they'd reconciled last fall, and had seemed destined for the happy ending they'd been cheated out of. They'd decided to get married on Livy's birthday, which meant they'd only had a month to prepare a wedding following their engagement. It might have still gone okay, but it felt like every possible calamity had befallen the bride and groom over the course of the last 3 weeks. The original venue had sustained damage in a storm. Nicholas had injured his back playing basketball. Livy's dress had been mysteriously lost. The florist had burned down. The baker hired for the cake had canceled due to a family emergency. Multiple invitations had gotten lost in the mail. When Livy, upset, had come into the tattoo shop he owned and she worked at, Gabe had consoled her. Of course her mother was wrong and this wasn't a curse, he assured her. It was all going to be fine. He'd cracked a joke. She'd laughed. They'd all pitch in. It would come together. And things had started to gel. Until Nicholas's and Eve's beloved grandfather, John, who wasn't in the best of health to begin with, had come down with the flu. Livy's mother and aunt had been the next ones down. Everyone had held their breath, but John had recovered, and Tanny and Miley's sickness had subsided to some sniffles. Then yesterday, Livy had gotten sick. There were no such things as curses or bad omens, but the bride getting sick a week before the wedding was awfully bad timing on the universe's part. The waiter raised his voice to speak to Livy. "It's not the usual sort of cake, but your reception will certainly stand out, Miss Kane." "Good—" A sneeze interrupted Livy's word. "Ah, fuck." Gabe leaned forward. "Liv, why don't you go rest? We can handle this." No. A loud sneeze. "I want to participate. This is my wedding cake, damn it." Gabe dug into the lemon cake. The taste surprised him enough, he forgot to swallow fast. The sour from the lemon tempered the sugar.